Hey, this is Steven from Steven's Classic Garage. I'm going to show you guys an update on the Mustang because we're at another critical point here. So hopefully I have enough light for you guys to see. I'm just kind of going to talk about it for a few minutes here. So basically what I was doing was I was setting up for sealer. So I'm hitting it with 400 grit. What I decided to do, everybody does stuff a little differently. I have yet to do it, so I'm kind of establishing what I'm going to make my process be. And what I'm thinking is 120 prep for primer, then 220 prep for 220 prep after primer to set it up for another second coat of primer that's most likely going to be sanded off. Then 400 before sealer, and then 600 before top coat, and then clear coat right after top coat. So that's what I plan on doing. So I purchased some hand sanding stuff for 400 and 600, and also some 220 because I ran out of the roll of 220. So basically it's sanded now with 400 except for the quarter panels and the taillight panel and the trunk lid have yet to be sanded with 400. Anything that has guide coat on it will be sanded with 220 beforehand, and then been gone through with 400 when I have a few seconds here before the end of the day. I have about another hour and a half of working on it. And then another thing I want to start doing on the channel is start reviewing some stuff. So I saw this stuff at Home Depot. It's Pro Grade, 3M Pro Grade, no slip, durable packing, Cubitron 2. This is purple sandpaper. It's different than it could be wet or dry, a little bit different than the regular black sandpaper. So I wanted to see if that is any better or any worth the money, so I could recommend that to you guys or not. So here you can see this panel's been sanded with 400. I've yet to clean it off. This panel I did wet sand. Bad idea, is just kind of caked on there now, so now I gotta wash that off. Hood's gone over. Most guide coat's all gone, as you can see. Here obviously I have some guide coat on the shoulder. The shoulder's a low spot. There's a big divot here. I think that's normal. Get some Bondo up here. I got some guide coat down here that I have to hand sand off. And then I have some Bondo also down there. But everything else, I mean, as you can see, very, very little guide coat and pretty much ready to go. Up here on the trunk, I fixed most of the trunk, as you can see. Like almost zero guide coat now. So I fixed the Mustangs Plus trunk. So now it's pretty much perfect. Zero guide coat left. Ready to go, and I haven't hit this at all by hand. This is all by block, so it's all gone by block. Then here, I mean, I probably got some low spots here. Whether or not I'll deal with that, probably not. I'll probably just sand it, and then maybe I'll see how it looks again. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with that. And then here is the left quarter panel here. Left quarter panel. Don't have a lot of sun over here, so hopefully bear with me on that. So looks pretty good. Did a little bit of Bondo in here. There's a little bit of a low spot in here. Pretty much no guide coat at all except for on the spine here. Just guide coat. Again, guide coat on the shoulder. Did a little bit of Bondo in here. There was a little bit of a low spot, tiny little low spot here. I don't know how. Maybe somebody hit the car, because I don't remember seeing it on the last run, so maybe somebody hit the car between now and then. And then did a little bit of sanding down here. It actually didn't need as much work as I thought it was going to need right down here, but as you can see, big low spot here that I'm probably not going to fix because that's a big chance of chipping right there. Anytime you do some work on the edge, you have a big chance of chipping it off. And I think it will look worse chipping it off than just leaving it how it is. Here's the door. Just sanded the door with 400, as you can see. Very little guide coat. I mean, there's a little bit of guide coat down here inside the little socket. But other than that, everything's good. Here's the quarter panel. Quarter panel again looks perfect. Already been sanded with 400. zero guide coat. I mean, there's a little bit of guide coat over here, and then again the hood. Hood looks really, really good. Now the main parts that I'm worried about are the roof. Oh, which I got a now I have a car cover instead of a tarp. Need to review this car cover. This car cover is amazing. It's by Oxguard. It's a 7-layer. I'll do a review on it though when I get a chance to. But overall, so basically what I'm doing now is, again, I'm sanding with 400 and prepping it to hit it with sealer probably next weekend, and then block it with 600, make sure it's perfectly flat. And the sealer I'll probably use, what I've been using is this 5-star stuff. Let me go ahead and show you. So this is 5-star stuff in there, right there. Hopefully you can see that. 5-star, 2K, yeah, 2K direct metal DTM primer, filler, sealer black, and basically the sealer is just a different mix of reducing, and I'll use that with. Usually I use the high build with that guy. That guy's got a 1.8 or a 2.0 tip on it, but for that, if I thin it out to have a lot higher transfer efficiency, I use that white box there. And that white box has my Warwick high efficiency HE 408 LP, I think it is, something like that, 408 LE or LP. And here's my block sitting on the floor. I had a small block out here, Durablock, but I can't find it anymore, so maybe somebody took it, because I think I left it on the car. I can't remember. Probably find it. Fell somewhere in the car somewhere. Anyways, so yeah, so basically that's what I got going on. Plan on uploading a lot more. Thinking of getting a second Classic. We'll have to see how that goes as my daily driver, as I'm going to get rid of my Focus here. That one has that strange manual / automatic tranny in it that the computer shifts. Another big problem I had was this big old dent down here. As you can see, bigly hit something hard on the rocker. It's all filled in right here, if you can see it. This is all filled in here. And then here was a little high. I had to hit this in. And I was pretty lazy back when I did this, so I didn't hit it in back then. So I had a lot of cracking of this Bondo. I had to go back in and redo it. But now this is pretty good, and I've checked it with the block by laying the block spine across it. It looks pretty good. I think it looks good enough to pass right now. Before I cut, maybe later on when I redo the car another time, I'll cut that piece out and then redo it if I were to do it another time. But other than that, I have the quarter panel, the hood, I mean the trunk lid, and the taillight panel and the other quarter to do before it gets too dark there. So I got about another hour and a half work, maybe about 20 minutes per panel, let's say, except for obviously the taillight panel. The trunk should be quicker. And then at the end of the day, at about 7 o'clock, generally gets dark about 6:30. Might be keep going. It's about 5:30 right now. Well, keep going, and then I'll start it up at 7 o'clock. Run it for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then have something to eat and go to school tomorrow. And then next week I'll extend this tarp out, or maybe I could do it tomorrow. Now I think about it, because the problem is that when I do it next week is that all the cars are still here, but I could tell them to move it now. I could either move it or have my parents move it, and then spread out this tarp, and use that as my drop cloth. So I try to get as little on the asphalt as possible. And then, but it might take me. So I'll probably paint it Sunday. It'll take me Saturday to redo reseal it all with masking, and then yeah, and then hit it with the thin it out, and hit it with the really low reduced to the point where I could use my finish gun. And then after that, I got to really clear out my finish gun so that I'm ready to use it for actual base coat, clear coat, and then block it with 600 grit. Probably buy a roll of the cheap stuff, the cheap 600 grit, and then use that and see how that works out. So that's the plan. And then top coat, clear coat. After clear coat, I'm gonna do a some color sanding, and hopefully I could get it to look like this dash. Which, I mean, you can see it over there. I mean, it still looks wet. Really nice. But I learned on the dash, which is probably the worst way to learn, because you can't use a machine there. You can't use a buffer. I had to do it all by hand, and I think I wore through it 4 times and repainted it 4 times. So after that, wait a little bit, maybe put the interior back together, and then I want to maybe just wait until the paint kind of off gases, and then do the sealer, sealer to kind of seal in and help any sort of scratches, prevent scratches. Alright, so that's pretty much all the time I have on this video. I'm gonna get back to work. Hopefully I'll upload this today. I'm gonna finish uploading. I think I have 3 videos. This would be my 4th. I'll try to get it all in today. Thanks for watching Steven's Classic Garage, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.